You can write a check, you can put cash in. Some people even put gambling chips in the offering plate. I'm not kidding. Because it's really giving not only to his church, it's giving to the Lord. So Dr. Lynn, would you scripture on your heart, whatever's in your heart, because you're my mentor. Do whatever you want.
The Lord shared with me the word stewardship. You know, Paul the Apostle thought very highly of stewardship. Stewardship of his calling and ministry. Let's pray. Let's believe, God, that our vision will even expand and extend and do more effectively than ever before. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for the privilege of being part of this great work right here at ICLV.
And the buckets are going to go around the aisles. Go ahead and give as the Lord leads your heart.
Man, what it do, man? We in this thing, man. Valentine's Day, man. Yeah, man. You know, man. Oh, you know, you uptight, man. I got some pussy in the front row, man. If you want some pussy, man. Remember hustling for? Yeah, we gonna keep this real nice, Irish, a little bit maybe over Irish, nothing under. Lord willing. And we're going to talk about Terence Crawford Shakur, Zayas, Keyshawn, and Devin. And we're going to start off with this Golden Boy stuff, man, with Golden Boy and Oscar De La Fuya. So it looked like, yeah, we about to make the Jerron Ennis fight. CJ, you said that, you know, Jerron Ennis, mine. He wasn't going to fight Virgil Ortiz, mine. And look at him now, mine. He fighting Virgil, mine. And all of a sudden, I told y'all, man, this is a ploy, man. This is a finesse. Golden Boy is known for doing finesses like this. They did it with Geez Louise. They did it with when it came to I forget bro name. When it came to Dervinchenko and Canelo Alvarez. They act like they had some type of beef, so Canelo Alvarez didn't have to fight Dervinchenko. So, like I said before, Oscar is bad for boxing. Y'all sitting here geeking Oscar up for Cap Back Thursday. You heard it, Cap Back Thursdays. And I'm telling y'all, man, and you got a bunch of these dudes who is immensely, they have this alliance or this allegiance to traditional boxing, which is like, you know, Bob, Oscar, and Al Heyman. That shit is over with, man. Look at the landscape of boxing right now. The landscape is telling you it's a wrap. When you got Gilly the Kid have a boxing platform, Adin Ross has a boxing platform, you got Overtime Elite who got a boxing platform, you got Jake Paul who had a boxing platform, Mike Tyson had a boxing platform. That's telling you right then and there. When you start to see people start to see a niche in boxing and they trying to exploit it, that should let you know everything you need to know right then and there about the state of boxing. You know, and now Heyman ran off, and Oscar, he don't have no superpowers no more. He never really did. So this is what I was trying to like explain to people, but you know, ain't nobody want to listen to the kid. Y'all just, oh yeah, in boxing is going down the drain. And, you know, and then you got a number of boxers, American boxers, who are now, instead of fighting the best other American fighters, they're now lobbying to go overseas. They're now lobbying to go overseas. And, you know, in previous years, you couldn't pay Roy Jones to go over there. You know, you couldn't pay Mayweather to go over there while he was a professional boxer. You know, wasn't no Americans going over to the UK unless they had to. And now you have a bunch of fighters in America instead of just who say, I want to be the face of boxing, but then they want to go fight these alternative ass fights. Instead of getting out of the blender right in their own country, these motherfuckers so desperate, they willing to lead the country. They willing to lead the country. Ain't nobody trying to nobody want to be the best, man. And I'm gonna really exploit that when talking about Keyshawn Davis and talking about Keyshawn Davis, and when I'm talking about Xander Zayas. All right. So apparently, and let's get into it, Oscar De La Hoya and them got a big win in court. Now, they was making it seem like the fight was on the 1 yard line. And apparently the fight was only on the 1 yard line off the strength of what it sounded like. Let me say allegedly, because Rick Mirgid was negotiating with other promoters. And I'm going to tell you what that's about. And it makes sense. I was wondering where they got that $7 million price point from. It's about to make a whole bunch of sense where I'm about to put it together. But so it says breaking Golden Boy Promotions, granted, it's basically a restraining order against a TRO against Virgil Ortiz. A Nevada, give me 1 second. It was granted a restraining order. Basically, a Nevada judge granted Golden Boy a motion for an emergency temporary restraining order against Virgil Ortiz on Friday. Ortiz is precluded from entering into third-party contracts for the Ennis bout until further order of the court. So basically, when they were talking about that fight was pretty much almost done, somebody else came in, and most likely it was the Saudis who came in and who was about to bless them. It was the Saudis who blessed them. So, the Saudis came in. So, to me, it shouldn't be no shot. They wanted $7 million. Where do you think they got $7 million from? They was talking to other people about the fight, and they went out there and they found other people, probably the Saudis, who were willing to pay the price point, and Oscar De La Hoya couldn't get to the price point. And if they know that Oscar De La Hoya, can't have any ownership of him unless they have a TV deal, then you already know what they about to pull. You already know what they pulling. Why would I sign with you for $3 million to fight Virgil Ortiz? And if I don't sign with you, your contract is done with the zone. I'm free and I can go get $7 million for somebody else. That doesn't make business sense. So of course, if their contract is valid where we can go somewhere else and negotiate a contract with somebody else because you don't have a TV deal and you not having a TV deal with the zone, it gives us freedom, then it is what it is. You got to respect that. You got to respect it. You got to respect it. And as of right now, this is why it's temporary. So right now, what you getting, it was on April 25th date or some date late in April. What you get now is you won't get no fight. But one thing you will get is that, to the simple fact that, Xander Zayas, he might not be able to get the Josh Kelly fight. Come on. Think about that for a minute. So, Boots might go fight Josh Kelly for the IBF, which is still suspect to me. Because why you just didn't fight Mazzaliaf for the IBF to begin with? But his fans act like they don't understand that. Remember I did the Adin Ross video, and I'm gonna highlight that video again. I did the Adin Ross video, and you seen how he was saying, "Oh, T.O.'s not really right." That's basically what people do in the comment section when you speak truth. That rhetorical question now, if you've been like, "Oh, you don't like Shakur Stevenson," and you keep answering the question, it's just a shaming tactic to try to shame you not to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure if you've been watching me for a while, that don't work. I'm gonna still talk about it. I'm still going to talk about it. You can't deter me from talking about the truth. Okay? So basically what this means is it's really going to make our next topic about, Zayas and Keyshawn and Devin Haney so much more interesting. It's going to make it so much more interesting from the simple fact of now Virgil Ortiz is about to get into this long litigation. Him and Boots probably not going to fight this year. Him and Boots are probably not going to fight this year. Or later the night early this year. He going to be embroiled in a fight with Golden Boy. And really, he didn't want to fight Boots to begin with. Don't be surprised when Boots fights somebody else, and later in the year they come to some agreement. And everybody becomes a happy family again. All this is to me, I don't trust Golden Boy. All this is a way to duck the fade. All this is a way to duck the fade. They do extravagant things to duck the fade. That's it. They're doing extravagant things to duck the fade. That's it. So this shouldn't really be this shouldn't really surprise you none. They're doing anything and everything not to make this fight. They didn't. Golden Boy didn't want to fight. Virgil didn't want to fight. All this is this fake beef not to make the fight happen. I'm telling y'all, they did it with Canelo and Derevchenko, man. These Mexicans, man, I ain't gonna even put on these motherfuckers in boxing, bro. They would do anything not to fight. Anything. Don't be surprised if they get back buddy or Virgil signed with somebody else and say, well, I need a tune-up first, and they ain't trying to fight. So Boots is probably going to try to fight Josh Kelly. It's going to be a race between Kelly and Xander. And the thing about it is Xander wants the fight to happen in Puerto Rico, New York. And Boots probably going to be willing to go overseas. In my opinion, Boots is probably going to be willing to go overseas more than Xander Zayas to get that belt. So then what does that leave Xander Zayas? With a Devin Haney fight. But, Virgil and them, man, they doing it. They didn't want to fight. I'm telling you right now, they didn't want to fight. They never did. They don't want to fight still. All this is a ploy. Don't let them trick you out your position. He didn't want to take the fight. And to me, it's not even like, what's the point of waiting? That's my humble opinion. Boots don't have no type of real top ring experience. Virgil got all the ring experience, whether it's for Boca Chup, Madrimov. He got all the ring experience. Boots ain't even fought no puncher yet. So I don't really be understanding the thought and the thought process of guys who wasn't proven. Why don't you clip their wings right now? Why? It's more honorable to beat up a guy, young than it is when they old and past their prime. So I really don't understand, why Boots. Why Virgil don't want to take out Boots right now. It make too much sense. Boots is not a proven commodity, bro. We don't know if he can take a punch. We don't know if he can been through some adversity. What we know about Virgil Ortiz, he got off the canvas. He's dealt with adversity before. He had to come back versus Madrimov. However you feel about that fight, he was down. You know, he dealt with a little bit of adversity versus Michael McKisson, who was piecing his ass. Had McKisson been able to punch, he'd have been in some trouble. But he didn't. So if it was a fifth, we all be drunk. But what's the point of waiting for Boots to gain that ring experience, to really gain that, or somebody else to beat Boots? What do you get out of it? You get relieved that, I didn't have to do it, and then somebody else beat him or expose him, and you could have been the one to do it, and you missed an opportunity. I don't really understand the belief of the non-competitive spirit of American athletes anymore. You look at the NBA, that's pretty much what it's about. You look at the NBA, that's what it's about. That's why the All-Star game sucks. That's why nobody wants to compete anymore. And at the essence and the DNA of your masculinity is competition, not competing over a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But competing for a position, competing in your space in the hierarchy in the world, competing in masculine spaces. Even your homeboys, y'all compete. Whether y'all hooping, whether y'all playing 2K, whether y'all compete, who can run up to 1 million first. You know, y'all help, but y'all compete. You know? And, you know, the American man has been feminized by single motherhood and by all this poison in the food that they don't want to compete no more. Even if you come up a smidget short, you know, it's still honorable, man. These dudes don't want to compete. They'd rather love and hug each other and support each other instead of, you know, and everybody is just, you know, be crabbing the bucket instead of somebody say, you know what, I'm stepping on y'all ninjas, man. I'm a big stepper, man. I'm better than y'all. And really silently, you supposed to feel that way. I'm just better than this man. Flat out. But when you say those words in America, when you say that words in those words in the world, they try to shun you, or you're arrogant, or you're a narcissist, or you're not a good guy. You're not. No, nigga, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Guess what? I got to get better, man. I got to get better. And if y'all fooled by if y'all still fooled by what Golden Boy doing, God bless your little itty bitty heart. God bless your little itty bitty heart, because Virgil Ortiz don't want to fight. Golden Boy don't want to fight. Because if I can turn around and get an extensive TV deal, what's the difference? I throw the $4 million on there for Virgil Ortiz, because during the $4 million, they're saying, "Hey, Virgil, we can do five. We can do five. We can do $5 million for this fight. We'll take the $2 out of our pocket." Because think about it. If I get a long-term digital TV deal with the Zone, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make that $5. I'm gonna make that $4 back when I probably sign the deal. And if I believe that Virgil gonna win and he win this fight, we on the bigger, better things. I'm gonna make that $4 back. I'm gonna make that $2 to $4 million back. I'm gonna make that back 10 times. I'm gonna get that out the mud a couple times. But they don't, I mean, like I said before, neither party want to fight. They don't want to fight. And truth be told, I don't really think Boots really want it like that. I don't really think Boots ain't really tripping on it like that. His whole demeanor is just like, if it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. And that just might be Boots. That might just be who Boots' demeanor is. But he really ain't, salivating for the fight. He really ain't standing on business. He really ain't applying pressure for Virgil Ortiz to fight. He just, I think he wants to fight. Listen to all them dudes in Philly talking, bro. They so respectful for a ducking ass Mexican. But if this was a brother, I'm telling y'all, man, I can't wait till the day if it's a brother they act like that's ducking Boots. I can't wait till the day when I could point out that hypocrisy with Bud. But I ain't trying to dig up, I ain't trying to dig up skeletons. You feel me? Make sure y'all thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I ain't trying to dig up skeletons, right? But I can't wait till y'all. We all really see the difference. Somebody else. I'm telling you. Either when they challenge with a guy like T.O. or they challenge with a guy like Devin or somebody like that, what they say, oh, you really don't want him, man. We'll kill him. It's always something for a motherfucker who don't have no resume. For a dude who should be lusting and thirsting to put a dude's name on his resume to boost where he at. And how old is Jerron Ennis? To boost really where he at in his career. He don't seem hungry, dog. I don't even think he want to box. He's 28 years old. Be 29 in June. Prime is almost over with. He ain't got one name on his resume that nobody respect. He almost 30 years old. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? Ain't him and Gary Russell Anton Russell ain't close to fighting. All the contemporaries that him and Richardson Hitchison ain't close to fighting. These dudes 30 and accomplished really pretty much in the grand scheme of things, Nathan. Once you hit about 30, your prime is over with, bro. You started to be on the other side of your physical prime. But Virgil, man, like I said, man, it ain't just a Hispanic thing, bro. These people in America that went outside, Black Jericho, salute, they just want fame. They don't even want fame. Because if you want fame, you're gonna pop your shit. You feel me? You're gonna talk heavy. If you want fame is monologues. Fame is your persona. They don't have persona, they don't have personalities. Nothing. He said they filibustering. Yeah, and man, Jerron should be stepping on this dude verbally right now. Every chance he get, Jerron should be kicking this dude in his pride. He really should. Remember, it's the same dude that went over there to sell his asshole to Canelo. Hey, Canelo, I can help you beat Bud. And it ain't to the fact like Bud denied him opportunity. He said, shoot the fade. The daddy said no on the telephone. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. When Crawford hit me, I get a click every time. Daddy in the fucking basement cutting the line. Man, they know what's up, man. They know these dudes ain't good, man. Time and time again, we see how easy it is to make a fight. So for them to be doing all this lets me know they don't want to fight and want to save face at the same time. Black Trigger. Now, if they was talking about, hey man, we about to make this Brandon Adams fight, it'll be a new deal with the zone. The fight will be done. Or if it was like, oh, let's fight Xander Zayas, the fight will be done. It'll be done. I'm telling you, bruh. Manny, what did you? So I feel like they think they're gonna lose and it's not worth the risk and they don't want the O to go. And my thing is this, then hey, guess what? Your money gone too, your TV deal gone too. But then, it is what it is. They're gonna be back on Facebook. Black Jericho, I got Boots beating Ortiz after all this. They lost the fight. Hey, true. He said the fight lost its hype. That's why Turkey don't want to put the money. I think Turkey is trying to put the money up. That's why they going through the back channels. Boots don't want it either. Black Jericho. All Ken son say salute. He said, do you know some fights today? Yeah, I'm ask Boots, why did you leave the WBO and go to the IBF? He don't have no answers, man. Boots probably don't even pick the clothes that he wear, man. Respectfully, his daddy probably lay his clothes out for him. Boots just seem like, he a baby, They probably did everything for him. Very talented, but you can tell he don't know nothing. So he didn't really do shit, man. He don't want to box. He'd rather probably go get a software engineer degree and be an IT dude. I think that's really what it is, right? I don't really think he wants to be a boxer. But that's just my opinion, right? But I can just tell, like, he very talented, but he don't want. It's kind of like Tank. Tank don't want to be a boxer. He said it numerous times. If he had other avenues to get out of boxing, Tank would. If Tank had other avenues to get out of the sport of boxing, Tank wouldn't be no fucking boxer. He really wouldn't, and that's just the honest truth. Most of these dudes, they don't want to play basketball. They don't want to play football. They don't want to do that. It's just what they was told to do. It was their only shot to get out. Let's go over to brother Keyshawn, right?
I'm gonna whoop your ass, so-called Debo. You know what happened to Debo at the end of the movie? They got hit with a brick. Debo might get hit with a brick. Talk some Latins and Spanish people. Nah, don't pick on them. Pick on me. Keep picking on Craig, and you gonna figure out what's gonna happen. You gonna get hit with a brick. And I ain't playing. You know I ain't playing. Hit with a brick. Hit. Belt, nigga. So organic, so genuine. Pick on me. I want you to pick on me. Tell Debo come this way. What you talking about? You know what Craig did to him.
All right, so I like it. My thing is this. This is you know, this is my thing about it. It better be next. It better be next. You did all that, pick on me, leave Xander alone. It better be next. So if you calling him out because you don't want him to go up to fight Xander and you don't think he coming back down, I agree. But guess what? It better be next. It better be next. Don't be, oh yeah, we can do it in November. We can do it in December. We can do it in, you know, February. We can do it in July. We can do it in, you know, well, July is respectable, but you know, July 2020, it better be next. If you calling somebody else out like that, it better be next. Am I wrong? It better be next. Because it sounds like Devin Haney trying to fight, you know, Xander Zayas next, and probably Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend, June, they can do it. Same thing for Josh Kelly. June, they can do it. So I feel Keyshawn. My thing is, yo, if Keyshawn scared Devin might go up and not come back down, well, hopefully when you say pick on me, let's do it now, because Hitchison is running his fucking mouth. He been running his mouth and not doing nothing. Keyshawn is running his mouth and say, I want to get a belt first, which I believe that was the plan all the way around. I've been saying that. All right. But if you going to do a call out like that, and he'd happen next, and then you can say, yeah, he hit him with a brick. He had to get a brick to hit Debo. But in the second one, Debo had him on the run. Debo pulled up on him, knocked the Mexicans out, and Craig and them was scared for their life. They was talking about, they love the police. First it was F the police, and then it was like, come on, man, let's not forget Debo still had him on the run. He had to move to Rancho Cucamonga with the cracker killers. He had to move to Rancho Cucamonga with the cracker killers, man. He had to relocate. If he would be Debo, why did he have to relocate then? You know what I mean, son?
I'm gonna whoop your ass, so-called Debo. You know what happened to Debo at the end of the movie? They got hit with a brick. Debo might get hit with a brick. Talk some Latins and Spanish people. Nah, don't pick on them. Pick on me. Keep picking on Craig, and you're gonna figure out what's gonna happen. You're gonna get hit with a brick. And I ain't playing. You know I ain't playing. Hit with a brick. Hit. Belt, nigga. So organic, so genuine. Pick on me. I want you to pick on me. Tell Debo come this way. What you talking about? You know what Craig did to him. I'm gonna whoop your ass, so-called.
So yeah, man, I love to see it, bro. I love to see it, man. I want to see it, but let's not be talking about rendezvous for later 2026. Let's not be talking about 2027, 2028. None of that. Let's do it now. And I think he got a good chance to win it. I would like to see him get closer to 20 fights. People forget he got less than 20 fights. If I feel like the Edwin De Los Santos thing didn't happen, he'd had 1, 2. So he'd had about 3 more fights than he got right now. And I think right now he had 15 fights. 14. So he'd had about 17 fights, had he not went off the rockers. But, at the end of the day, don't be picking on Spanish people. I mean, y'all all do it. Shakur built this whole fucking, this I'm the best fighting Spanish people. When Shakur fought dudes with a little bit of melanin in them, what happened? That Nibia cop, gave him a fucking Caesar. He started running. Edwin De Los Santos, he just gave him a small little shape up. He started running. When y'all all pick on Spanish people. That's what Floyd tell y'all. Be smart. Don't fight blacks. Fight the Spanish people. Don't fight each other. Make your money. Keep your health. And get out with all your faculties. That's what he tell them. Y'all be hiding behind those Spanish people. Y'all be hiding behind. Oh, don't go hide behind Spanish people. No, nah. If we gonna line it up, let's line it up next. Because guess what? You talking about going to fight Lee Woods or G.I. Joe? What's the dude name? Lewis Crocker. Lewis Crockpot Crocker. You talking about going to fight Lewis Crockpot Crocker? Okay, I can't wait around when you fight the Crockpot. I can't wait around for that. So if Xander Zayas ain't got nothing going on, I'm gonna go up there and try myself with Xander Zayas. I'm gonna go try to fight Xander. But then Xander out here talking crazy. He out here talking crazy. Pull that up. I don't know who podcast is. These niggas be on these podcasts. I don't know who shit that was. But he out here talking crazy.
Because I don't know Devin Haney. I've never spent time with him either. I don't know what his personality is like, but from what he shows, he's a clown, a crybaby. He doesn't like to lose. They hit him in the face the other day and he cries a little. He sued and everything.
So I don't know if that's AI. That might be AI what he said. Because the way I know they was talking in Spanish, so I don't know if they translated it or it was AI. That might be AI. But they was on the internet going back and forth, which that wasn't on my bingo card. Xander Zayas and Devin Haney, that wasn't on a nigga bingo card. I'd have never thought about that fight today. I don't think much of Xander Zayas as a fighter. I know he's young, but if he was just a regular ass Brad or a regular ass black man, he a strong kid. But I ain't see his last fight. I don't see it. I don't see it, dog. When they talking about Xander Zayas, I don't see it. Remember, Jock had that song. I know you see it. I was like, bing, bam. I know you want some chewing on my like a piece of bubble gum. I know you see. I don't see it, dog. I don't see the talent. This dude is like one step above Nico Ali Wash or some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? This dude is like, he like Nico Ali Wash but Puerto Rican and shit. You feel me? So I don't really see it like that. But maybe I'm wrong. I think he a big, strong kid. That might be a problem for Devin. If Devin can avoid the punch and outbox Xander Zayas, and Xander, throw some punches too. So, if they feel like they can go up there and beat Xander Zayas and be fourth division title holder and get 2 titles, then the question is if they can beat him. I would rather them do it on Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend, get that money, but if they can do it, then do you stick around for Duran or Virgil Ortiz? You definitely ain't sticking around for Sebastian Fondor, you know what I'm saying? But do you stick around for Duran Ennis or do you go back down to 147? I know it's obviously if Keyshawn talking shit, you want to go back down and make that fight happen. So, honestly, for Xander Zayas, I feel like he should feel a lot of disrespect he should feel disrespected, to be honest. He should feel disrespected that a dude who fought a couple fights at welterweight, you know, is calling me out. It should be a lot of disrespect there. Out of all, you know, you calling me out. Most people see, you know, Xander Zayas as the weak link. You know, when you go through his resume, like, dog, I watch him, I'll be ready to go to sleep. I'm so unimpressed. I don't see, he only 24 too, but I don't see the hype. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the hype. You know, I mean, who is this dude fought, bro? He fought Pastor Shakur. He was, but you know, then he was stopping. Pastor Shakur was probably old at that time. Yeah, it was like a couple years ago. So yeah, this dude ain't nothing but Nico Ali Wash, but Puerto Rican, and a little bit, and you know, got some time to grow into his body and get stronger. But the hype between him and what's the other white boy name? Vito Melanicki, White Magic. The hype with them is like, I don't get it, bruh. I legit don't get the hype behind those dudes, man. But yeah, him and Dev, I mean, do it in June. Whatever Zayas do next make more sense to do it for Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend. That day, whether it's Kelly, Devin, or somebody else, and do that. But you know, keep it a beam, bro. I think he could beat Devin just based off size, but man, I don't really I don't think much of him. Not right now. You know, said Kia clown. He said yelling at the brother but laughing at the other. He said I can picture Boots being an IT dude. Yeah, he looked like an IT dude. He looked like a nerd, bro. He said he dressed like a nerd. He dressed like an anime character. You see what he had on at that last fight, that Shakur fight? Like he looked like he a character from My Academia or some shit. Key gonna get done there. I don't know, man. I think it's a good competitive fight, bro. Key lose to that. Nah, he ain't creating over with, bro. I don't think so. You know, easy salute, salute. Zayas a good boxer, but I don't see good boxer, bro. I see, you know, Danny Garcia without the no look left hook. I don't see good boxer. And I see Zayas is solid. I don't see nothing special in Xander Zayas. I like Xander Zayas. He seemed cool, but I don't see nothing special. It's like eating plain potato chips, like the ones they fry and they don't put nothing on them. You get them right out the fucking skillet, right out the grease, right out the grease. Don't taste like nothing but potato. Last to climb on Devin and take him out. He said Keyshawn smokes and drinks. No way he beat that. I don't mean nothing. Kovalev almost sent Ward ass to the upper room. Shit, it's been some of the greatest fighters in the fucking history been fucking dope fiends. You know, Frankie Randall had a drinking problem. He was the first man to technically beat, which I feel like Pernell did, and it was a dude in Mexico that technically beat him. You know, all that shit with Ward. So I'll never lose somebody smoking dreaming. I know a couple crackheads that would have whooped Ward in boxing, hypothetically. I'll be listening to these fucking fighters' name. Man, crackheads was the staple of 80s and 70s boxing. Heroin heads. You know, Wilfredo Benitez was a whole dope fiend. And I say that respectfully. Hector Camacho was a whole dope fiend. This is a dude who tried to cross the border with a brick. With a brick in the trunk. Look at the Hector Camacho. Camacho put hand, foot, and toes on people. Wilfredo Benitez he gave Sugar Ray some work. He was fucking, what you call it when they sobered him up? What you call it when they like detoxes? He was like detoxing like before he fought Sugar. I'm telling y'all gotta learn about the history of boxing, bro. Watch documentaries and read, dog. They had to stay up all night, have somebody block the door, any exit, the balcony, any exit they had in Wilfredo Benitez's hotel or room or house they was at. They had to block every exit so he wouldn't go out and get high the night before the Sugar Ray Leonard fight, bro. So in this whole thing, he's smoking, man, it's been some fucking dudes that was on dog food whooping niggas' ass. I mean, I ain't gonna speak on it, but it was a lot of them dudes that was straight up on that booger sugar. They was on that rock. Your mom, your favorite fighter was on the crack rock, and they was whooping people. So I don't really hear that smoking and drink. Some people need that smoking drink to get busy, right? But Tiger Woods needed that Becky Wop to win tournament. As soon as that Becky Wop got took away from Tiger Woods, man, his superpowers are gone, man. Everybody is different, bro. Some people need that Coke 45 to win that dice game. I know what T Grizzly say. You ain't no shooter if you on that. If you off, you got to be off that Molly. Some people need that Molly. You know what I'm saying? You know, some dudes need to, you know, drink some of that tequila to get the soldier at attention to lay pipe all night on Valentine's Day. Whatever stroke your boat, bro. Whatever do it for you. You know? So you know, all that. Oh, you smoking? Man, I know some crackheads in boxing that'll lay all these niggas out. If we can dig them back up or we can get them in their, I know some dope fiends that'll lay these dudes out. They don't make me know. I don't be listening to, you know, all these. Oh, I never lose some. I know a couple smokers and drinkers that fuck Andre Ward up, bro, in real life. I mean, like hypothetically speaking in the sport, like, I don't be listening. I'll be listening to these niggas talk shit. Motherfuckers don't. Oh, never. All right. Not my academia. Yeah, I ain't saying no names. Leave my favorite fighter alone, man. But yeah, and they be killing me with that shit, dog. Be killing me. I be listening to these fighting niggas. These fighters don't be knowing shit about history. Shakur didn't even know the hell Marvin Hagler was, and he from Jersey. It's crazy, bro. The fans don't know nothing. We know Marvin Hagler, but guess who don't? You a southpaw too, bro. Come on, the Sugar Ray was buns, and like, all right, man, nigga, you buns, nigga, you couldn't even put a racist down, bro. You couldn't even put a racist down. Man, let's move on to the main event. All right, let's move on to the main event, man. We're about to close this thing out with a strong like Sydney Sweeney in a thong. They said she the most beautiful woman. I don't know about all that. But boy, she got some knockers on her, boy. Man, she got enough milk to feed the chat. 10 chats. But see if I can pull this up. See if we can get closer than close. Well, original you never will be. Okay, I'm trying to find it. All right, man. I don't even know how we about to do this. I don't even know how we about to do this. Let me see. But it's about to go down. It's about to go down. In the club, it's going down. Meet me at the mall, it's going down. Meet me anywhere, it's going down. People won't even believe. Young Jock done destroyed his image so much, people don't even think he was a rapper. I'm not a star. I got a pistol and a kilo in the car. I'm not a star. I'm not a star. Huh. 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 I want to get the longer version. Hold on. I can't believe I ain't say this. I got a pistol in a car. I'm not a star. Let's see if we can find this. Did they delete it? All right, here we go. So let's see. We got it. We got it here. We got it here, Johnny. They're gonna be mad when I do this video. They're gonna be very mad. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be, I can't believe he did this video. He fucking hates Bud. He hates Shakur. I gotta do it for the culture. We gotta do it for the culture. We gotta do it for the culture.
So wait, you don't fuck with the people you fight with? Like,
No, I'm cool.
okay.
I think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't fuck with Tio at all.
Why? He's such a good guy.
It's personal.
Why?
I guess it's a lot.
He's a good dude, bro. You know he's a good dude. I know you guys got into it a little bit.
I do think he's a good dude, but I do think he be kind of faking for like the internet.
But how? He's a good rapper too.
No, but he says things that's like out of this world for clout.
You can't be racist and think that's cool.
He's racist? How?
He say a lot of racist things.
Like what?
Nigga.
Is he black?
The ER.
No.
He doesn't. Come on, bro. He does not say the hard R.
He do. He definitely said it with the R.
Calling us monkeys.
Okay. Well, hold on a second here. So let me explain this to you guys. If somebody rips on him and says a slur to him, have you guys ever called him a slur?
Never.
What is he? What's his ethnicity?
Honduran.
Okay, what is that?
I don't know.
What country is Honduran? What? I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all.
They like South America.
Like what is he? So is he Hispanic?
Hispanic.
Okay.
For sure.
So, do you guys feel like it's fair game if somebody calls him a slur, dissing Hispanic people, that he could clap back? But I've never even heard him say the hard
But
R.
time out. That's a whole different situation. He was on live, hitting the bag and saying nigger.
I don't think he did that. Come on.
Yes.
There's a clip?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
So, you know, I mean, what should we say, man? What can we say here, right? And what can we say here? This is why you don't have conversations with mixed company. They don't sympathize with you. They just, you should be able to get over it. It's not a big deal. It's just words. Sticks and stones doesn't break my bones. Words does just hurt. They can't hurt you. That's basically what they do. But in a minute something don't go their way, they ready to cry. This isn't fair. This shouldn't be like that. A prime example, when you at the workplace and you black and maybe they get, you negotiate. This is why I tell brothers all the time, man. Don't discuss your pay. Don't discuss your pay. Don't tell nobody nothing, because the thing about it is, when you go in these spaces and let's say you want to set it up where you go home early and you got a situation and you negotiate where you go home early, the first thing that Brad and Becky say, why does he get to go home early? It's not fair. And now at the end of the day, now they like, well, can't nobody go home early because we have other employees who's crying, even if your situation is dire. You know what I'm saying? When they see a brother do something, oh my God, it's not fair. Or when they on the wrong end of the stick, it's not fair. When they start to see that it's less, Brads and Becky's being born and their numbers are decreasing, it's not, you start to see a lot of stuff. Some people feel like the voting, the President-elect Obama was a direct correlation to them basically being their Empire Strike Back with them getting Trump in office. That's how some people feel. It was just, I don't care how unhinged this guy is or how, if I agree, we just got to get him back. That's what you got to understand. When they on the wrong side of stuff, when things ain't fair or they white privilege don't get them out of a situation, then it's like it's unfair, and then but we just supposed to take it. And this is why you just be wondering, like, you already know, this is why a lot of people feel like the Illuminati is real or some type of butt breaking or embarrassment is real, because if you a self-respecting black man, why would you go on these platforms? And they not. I tell y'all, celebrities and athletes, the vast majority of them, no matter how pro-black they talk, Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant to me. He was straight up just racist and plain. Yeah, man, John, they just be saying stuff, man. They don't be with us, bro. When you understand the battle of Black Americans is a small crew of productive Black people. It's a small crew, and there's a small crew of people that support us outside of that sphere. you know, maybe some Haitians, some Jamaicans, some people from the continent, from the diaspora. You got some white people that legitimately support the movement and the cause. And, you know, you have small, you know, some hectares, but for the most part, the circle is really, really small. So when you raise these questions up, when you have these questions and stuff, and you have these conversations like this, we've seen it time and time again where they act like, oh no, you're tripping, and you know you're just imagining stuff. Or he didn't say. And you want to know the crazy thing about it is he's very aware of what T.O. said. He's very aware of what Teofimo Lopez said. Don't let him don't let him fool you. He's done racist stuff. He said racist things before. That's why he got kicked off platforms. And guess what? These brothers still go on this platform. This is why I don't be respecting them, dog. Because, and I tell y'all this, man, and I wish more media members speak up, but they cowards, bro. These media members, they cowards because their money is tied to this shit. Their money is tied to accessibility. This is where you had a nigga from Cigar Talk run up on T.O. and act like, you know, he wanted some smoke with Teofimo Lopez, and then, you know, turn around and interview Ryan Garcia. It's all about $1. They throw their self-respect away for $1. They not with you, bro. They not with you. I keep telling y'all that. They not with you. They're not with you. Hold on. I want to play this real quick. This the short version. This is.
Remember that we learned from some of the best. They had some white boys came over here that did the first beheadings in Point Coupee, Louisiana, where I'm from. Slave insurrection, that was the way you dealt with it. Tuskegee syphilis incident. We're going to see how black men die if they have syphilis, but we pretend we treat them with penicillin, and we're just going to watch the pathology of how they die. Now, that wasn't back 200 years ago. That was 1930 to 1974. We're talking about giving these wonderful blankets to the Native Americans infected with smallpox as they walked on that trail of tears just to see how they die and to eliminate their population so we can take all of that land. So the violence that is in America has come from a very learned position that was brought here by some Caucasian folks. All right?
Hold on, I want to play the full clip.
The fact is, while we have this very comfortable colloquial debate about it, when the lights go out and I go out in the street and I get behind the wheel of my car, the most dangerous moment I ever have in my life is when a police officer pulls me over. Every black man in America knows that when that happens, there's actually a possibility his life may come to an end. And that shouldn't happen. It actually happened to me in Louisiana. Dressed as I am, going to my uncle's funeral, 2 toddlers in the back. I just picked up my cousin from Chicago, 100 degrees on the road in Louisiana. I'm pulled over and I sat there.
That ain't the clip I want to show. This is the clip, but they was like, in this particular clip.
Remember that we learned from.
As long as we're on the subject, there was a new video that came out about from Ferguson. This actual quote was
hold on, I'm trying to find this clip, bro.
You have to remember that we learned from some of the best. They had some white boys came over here that
so when he made that comment, I can't find the actual clip. That's Wendell Pierce from The Wire. He played Monk. And before he made that comment, when he said, remember, we learned from the best, they basically was trying to tell him, like, you know, oh, y'all are just basically natural violence. It's you know, you guys do it to yourselves and you guys are violent. And this is why he said, we learned. They was trying to shut him up. And that's why he was like, hey, man, we learned from the best. That's why he went on that tirade. I'll eventually find the full clip and maybe I'll do a little short video or something on it. But yeah, let's go back through this real quick, man. Let's go back through it. I'm going to break it down like I did in the video. But then this ain't just it. I'm not even going to spend too much time on this one. I'm gonna show you how he just how so comfortable he is with disrespecting these guys, right?
So wait, you don't fuck with the people you fight with? Like,
no, I'm cool.
Okay.
I think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't fuck with Tio at all.
Why? He's such a good guy.
It's personal.
Why?
Because, like, it's a lot.
See, Bud is self-aware, you know, and obviously he's about a decade older than Shakur Stevenson is. So he's media trained. You know, Shakur has no media training, and I'm gonna explain that in a minute, right now, right? So Bud was just like, all right, man, I don't really want to I don't want to talk about it, bro. Like, I just don't fuck with dog. Let's move on to the next topic.
He's a good dude, bro. You know he's a good dude. I know you guys got into it a little bit.
I do think he's a good dude, but I do.
He said, I know you guys got into it a little bit. I told you, he's very self-aware of what T.O. said. I know you guys got into it a little bit. He know that T.O. called what T.O. said. He know. But he knows, Bud knows, right? This guy knows he's full of shit. He knows he's full of shit. He naive, he young. We all been there before, right? And then he don't claim to be a nigga anyway, but let's go.
He kind of faking for like the internet.
So look here, he capped for T.O. Let me play that again if I was talking over it.
The internet.
But how?
I do think he be kind of faking for like the internet.
But
my thing is he be faking for he's giving him a way out. Now, I've met fighters in person who vouch for T.O. Black, right? Oh, he just be faking, and you know, he be faking. I'm telling y'all, man, these niggas gonna be back in slavery, bro. They gonna be back in slavery now, man. I'm telling you.
oh, he's a good record too.
No, but he says things that's like out of this world for clout.
See, Shakur don't read the situation. He young. He don't read the situation. He know what T.O. said, and he know he racist as hell. Racist people don't see the shit they say is racist. But you know, that's why when you say a Devin make a blanket statement that say, well, I never let a white boy whoop me, right? To them, oh, it's racist. It's racist. It's not a racist statement. It's not a racist statement. But to them, they gotta pull and find anything that we say is racist to be like, see, y'all racist too. We have every bit to be racist, but we don't have the systematic power to be racist. That's what they don't understand. You want to say there's some bigotry, some tribalism going on? I'm all for that amongst black people.
You can't be racist and think that's cool.
He's racist? How?
He say a lot of racist things.
Like what?
Look how he's saying, like what? He knows exactly what he said, bro. He knows exactly what he said. He knows exactly what he said.
Is he black?
Now, if you believe anything else this dude say, is he black? He knows T.O.'s not black, bro. Come on.
Oh,
He does not, come on, bro. He does not say the hard R.
he do. He definitely said it would do or
Calling us monkeys.
Okay. Well, hold on a second here. So let me explain this to you guys.
Why would you have to explain anything about racism to a 38-year-old black man? Why would you have to explain anything about racism to black people in general? So he dude, like I said before, this is why these conversations are fruitless.
Somebody rips on him and says a slur to him. Have you guys ever called him a slur?
See, deflection. Did you guys do something first? You're black. You definitely said something first. We know. Look how Bud looking at him. He's black. You're black, and you're definitely look at T.O. thinking about it. I mean, Shakur thinking about it. You definitely had to do something to him. You know, it doesn't matter. If you're a racist, you're a racist. If you're a racist, you're a racist. Somebody calling you a racist slur and you repeating one, you know what I'm saying? Two wrongs don't make a right. Regardless.
What is he? What's his ethnicity?
Honduras.
Okay, what is that?
I don't know.
What country is Honduran? What?
It's Central America, bro.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all.
They like South America.
So he ain't trying to be disrespectful to the Hondurans, but he disrespecting black people right to their face.
Like what is he? So is he Hispanic?
Hispanic.
Okay.
For sure.
So, do you guys feel like it's fair game if somebody calls him a slur, dissing Hispanic people that he could clap back.
So here it is. It's like, oh, one of you monkeys must have called him a racist slur. One of you monkeys must have called him a racist slur. So he just couldn't have did it. I'm telling y'all, man.
I never even heard him say the whole.
But time out. That's
he heard
a
him.
whole different situation.
It's not a whole different situation, bro. It's not a whole different situation. If you're not a racist, you're not a racist. You don't use racist slurs, you don't use racist slurs. So that's the shit I'm talking about. But I'm about to play the real disrespect. Well, that was the real disrespectful clip. Let me get to the comments and then we're gonna play this last clip and wrap it up. I just want to show y'all, bro. They aren't witty enough to counter Adin Ross. He said Shakur straight, bitch. He said they'll vouch for T.O. before they vouch for their mother. Yeah, they definitely vouch for the T.O. before they vouch for another black man, especially Devin Haney. Pull up the clips where, Andre Ward said Bud and him told him that he would have knocked him out. Shakur's response was he kept throwing punches. If I can find it, I'll try to find it. He said Shakur is 30 years old. He's a buster. Mick Buster, shout out to Kid Bud. Mick Buster, you missed the Boost conversation, bro. Mick Buster, he said I was aware of the societal, I think he meant, inconsistencies at my age. Shakur simply panders for others. Okay. They was like, don't give Shakur no out. 28. Nutha being young ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm 23. I'm aware about the racial construct, racist people, politics, social issues. He's been obvious. Bud ain't no better being on the platform. Yeah. I tried to get a nigga way out. I will concede that to y'all. I will concede that y'all are exactly right. I will concede that to y'all. So, yeah. Y'all are right. I tried to give him a way out, but then he don't claim black. He claimed, Puerto Rican. He trying to go sit on Tito Trinidad lap and give him his Christmas gift, Christmas list. But that's back in the days when I was younger. I'm not a kid anymore. Some days I wish I was a kid again. This is the real disrespect. This dude got them beefing, bro. He got them in the beef with, I don't know, Joaquin Buckley. I don't know, what's up, Buckley? Yeah, anytime, Buckley was talking about killing niggas in the street, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't be talking about killing nobody in the street, dog. Grounds for, getting clipped, with that wop, with that motherfucking chopper. I'm trying to find, I just went past this clip, I promise y'all. It's a little in the bag. Let's see. Here we go. Damn right, I got it. Click for the killers. Please don't get us excited. I'ma start a ride. 2 Chainz.
Like that. You guys fuck with the UFC as a whole?
Yo, I saw you say that. You gotta take that back.
What?
You said that the UFC is better than boxing.
It's true, and it's true.
It's not true.
Come on, even he's smiling. Yo, come on, bro. Yo.
Human experience is better. I think that human going there and watching it is better than boxing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Going there and watching.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. MMA. Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
Kick this nigga out. This nigga did. Ain't no way this nigga came with me right now. Hold on now, cuz.
Nah, bro. I'm telling you, it's good though.
He good.
It's fun. It's fun. You know what it is, bro? When I was watching you and Tio's fight, I was obviously mad. I was biased, to be honest. That fight before was a good fight. Who's the dude from New York that fought?
Shushu.
Yeah, bro. I like him. He's cool. But again, I think UFC's better than boxing. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great.
UFC would never be better than boxing
at all. It ain't even close.
Ever.
The skill level is different.
All right, so hold on. Let me ask you guys a question. You don't think John Jones would dominate in boxing? Honestly.
Hell no.
What?
Hell
okay, Ilia Topuria.
Tell him come fight me.
He's a crazy boxer, bro.
I don't care. Tell him come fight me.
Hold on a second. What about
UFC is good for what they do, and we good for what we do.
That makes sense. Know what I mean? Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. He told them to their face they fucking products up. He told them to their face their product is 2 packs of ass and a Swisher. He told them to their face their product is not good. Even Shakur Stevenson homeboy said, man, UFC fights, going to the UFC fights is better. His own homeboy told him that, oh, when I go to your fights, I be sleep. I sleep. I sleep going to your fights, man. Like, you so boring. When I go to UFC, I'm on my seat. It's a knockout. It's a spinning kick. It's somebody running up. It's somebody running up the cage. When I go to your fight, Shakur, you know, I'll be sleep. I gotta get me a coffee. We gotta stop at Starbucks. He told them to their face. Now, he disrespected them in every clip I seen. He disrespecting these motherfucking brothers to their face. He said, bro, y'all nigga, UFC is better. You gotta admit, y'all shit trash. Now, from a production standpoint, he ain't lying. Boxing production can't stand up to UFC. Only production that's better than UFC I seen was NHL hockey on TNT. TNT's hockey production is second to none. That's the only visual production that I can say is better than the UFC when it comes to production. That's it. But what I will continue to say is this. They're not even aware that how trash the sport of boxing is. When is the last time we got an instant classic where something, let's just say, hey man, the last 10 years, let's say for instance 2000, let's just say 11, since 2015, like what's a big fight, which, you know, most of them all been on pay-per-view at that point. What's a pay-per-view fight that deserves, what was the name of that the HBO series? What was the name of HBO's they series where it was about legendary nights? What fight would you say is, you know, gave you a legendary night that you paid for? Now, for the UFC, I'm not an avid UFC follower, but I think the last one that I really remember for the UFC is when Khabib jumped out the cage and administered pain and beat up Conor McGregor. That was the best shit I ever seen. Better than the dude jumping in the parachute, you know, all types of stuff. Now, some of those legendary nights or some of those documentaries, it was really, a lot of them could involve some type of controversy. You know, when you start talking about the Nomas, or you start talking about what happened to Larry Holmes. Sometimes it was more than outside the fight, to be fair. It was more than what happened in the fight. You know what I'm saying? It was more about Evander chasing Holyfield or chasing Mike Tyson, but then the ear biting. And so we understand. But when it's something significant really happened in boxing that really gave a legendary night vibes, it has in the last 10 years. It's really about how big of a dud, you know, Pacquiao Mayweather was. You know, when you start really digging into it for real, it was talking about how much of a dud it was. So they haven't produced any great fights. A lot of the top fights, y'all wait so long to fight. They one-sided ass whoopings. People get old in the fights. And even if it is a semi-good fight, you know, like Sean Porter and Errol Spence, what does it counterpart next to? It doesn't counterpart to anything but Errol Spence getting into a car accident. Even if he didn't get into the car accident, you wasn't going to get a Keith Thurman fight next. You wasn't going to get a Terence Crawford fight next. So it's like when they elongate in making these big fights. By the time they get to them, they old. And even if they do win and cash in like Bud did with Errol Spence, he only had 2 more fights to really celebrate his victory over Errol Spence. It was Madrimov, and then he had a big fight with Canelo. He didn't really get to enjoy the benefits of finally being at the mountaintop. Mayweather did. You know, he was young enough. He got the Oscar fight, retired, came back. Ricky Hatton, Marquez. He was able to, you know, continue to bank and enjoy his fame and enjoy his fortune. You know, Shakur Stevenson, 28 years old right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole thing about it. Like, bro, y'all waiting too long to make these matchups. And right now, Shakur, he can, you know, him, Tank, Devin, Keyshawn, they can all be in the blender with each other. They can all be in the blender with each other, but they'd rather wait till down the line till nobody care about them no more. The time what Norman did with Devin Haney, you were supposed to take them chances when you 22, 23, 24 years old. Abdullah Mason should be ready to take. He a champion. He should be able to take them chances. It's just the fact of the matter. They're so not aware that they destroy boxing. The only real excitement in the sport of boxing is upsets. Upsets are the new big fights in boxing. And they happen a lot too because they're not fighting enough. They fighting once Every 12 to 18 months, they fighting. He told them to their face, y'all shit suck. And guess what? A lot of people in this chat gonna agree with it. The product of boxing is trash. Don't nobody throw no punches no more. Everybody fight the same. Everybody throw 1 or 2 shots, get back on defense. When a guy you came here with, when your homeboy came here with, said that, the sport that you participate in, you brought him here. This your man, left hand and right hand, 300 grand. He come and tell you to your face on A. Ross platform that your shit suck. They so self not aware about how bad the product of boxing has gotten. They don't know. They don't know. Bud is an exception, and really they should have had Bud rise to the top a lot earlier. They should have gave Bud the golden path to a championship, but instead they held him back. They should have gave Bud to go. No, you supposed to exploit your biggest and brightest. Bud delivered knockouts. Bud had a story. Bud was exciting. All Bud needed was a little bit of media training and media trust. But instead of exploiting their biggest and brightest, they want to pick and choose who they want to be a superstar, and you can't do that. Canelo is an anomaly. His orange hair, and he was able to have enough skill to carry out the mission. Can't make Fondor a star. No matter how much they try to push Sebastian Fondor down your throat, he ain't gonna be no star. You know what I'm saying? They try to make Zeus Simmons a star. It didn't work. They try to make Pitbull Cruz a star. It didn't work. It didn't work. So instead of saying the best fighters we got right here, let's all build them up, make them the stars, regardless of race, color, creed, or religion. Let's make them a star. Let's build them up, and let's put them in a ring together. They don't do that. They want to preordain or predetermine who the star is going to be. The fans do that. Their talent does that. Some fighters got enough distinguished look like Canelo, and they got enough skill for you to make that happen. But other than that, Canelo is an anomaly. De La Hoya had the goods. Trinidad had the goods. Mayweather had the gift of gab. He had the goods. But they pick and choose and try to just say, oh, we don't need you to be a star. We can do it on our own. And ain't nothing happened. Earl needed Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and Terence Crawford. All of them needed each other. And they all should have fought in their prime. Their pockets would be looking different when nobody cared about people were talking about how good the fights were in their prime, how good the fights were in their pinnacle. That's what people would be talking about. UFC don't care nothing about wins or losses. Don't care nothing about that. But he told these brothers to their face, y'all shit sucks. Somebody need to tell them. You know, he just went out there and gave T.O. a Swedish massage. Real talk. He's in from every clip I seen, the scene from this, and ain't many of them. He's insulting these dudes to their face. Ain't got no respect for y'all. When I can be in your face and tell you that somebody that called you a nigger ain't racist, you don't have no respect. Who forced them to be around this corny ass? That's the question. How are they sitting there talking with this client? That's what I'm saying, man. But then when they come to sitting down talking to a brother, they want your social security number. They want to know where you went to elementary school, what daycare you went to, what car you drive, where you live at, what's your mama maiden name, where your family come from. Is you a tether? If you FBA, if you ABCD, FYG. Hope they got paid for this. He said, what's the allure of this bullshit stream, man? Because Master tell them to do it, so they do what Master say do. All these niggas sold out. And this Hollywood shit, these niggas sold out. And he was talking about Shannon, you put a price. Man, this nigga got a price on his soul too, bro. Any of these niggas they did in these industry, bro, they sold out. I'm telling y'all, none of these niggas had the autonomy to do what they want to do. As soon as they say something that they shouldn't say, guess what? They gonna hit their bank account. Well, this dog being a baby. Come on, you come on stream, come on. He been tripping all morning, bro. What is the problem? You want a bath? It's almost warm enough for one. Take you to the bath. Then he got the fuck on when I said that. He said he didn't give Shakur props for being T.O. He diverted to Shoo laugh my because it was a trash ass fight. What? Bye. It was a trash ass fight. And you know, T.O. Shakur don't even like Shoo. Remember they was beefing too. You squeezed down to 226. You really a 30-year-old prospect. Remember you saying all that shit about Shoo and shit? He was going in on Shoo. Old ass nigga. The reason UFC is better than boxing, UFC fighters have to fight the best. It's only one title in each division. Highlights on sports. Yeah, facts. It says only a big fight when another beat a brother. Hey, facts. Either that, when the other beat the brother, or it's an upset, which is pretty much the same thing. Facts on the workforce, Black American topic. Yeah, told y'all niggas, man. I already know how it is, man. You don't peep it. You call when you young, you go into it naive. You very naive going into it. But once you kind of understand, you know, they hire you, and I'm gonna leave it on. If y'all got any questions, I answer them. Any questions y'all gotta answer it. You be naive to the shit until you really like get older and peep it. But a lot of times they give a lot of Black people an opportunity. And I'm not saying this all the time. I'm not going to say this the majority of the time. But most of a nice chunk of the time, they give us an opportunity. They give us jobs that they can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like they struggling to do. So then the job started to go off merit. We need somebody to clean this up. And then you clean it up and you do a great job, which they don't give you a large time. They don't give you a large opportunity to do a great job. You get when you're a brother, you get a short thing. You know, you get a short window to do or sister or Black woman. You get a short window to do the job the right way. Within that short window, if you don't do the job the right way, they trying to get rid of you. They nitpicking. Oh, you ain't do this, or you need to do this. They nitpick you. You'll see that have people start walking around. You know, going through, walking to see what's going on and to snitch on what you're doing or something like that. You know, and when you do a good job and you get it together, you don't, you know, you get silent praise. They praise you behind the scenes. You know, they don't really want to give you the raise, the recognition that you deserve. And sometimes you will get it together and they'll demote you. Oh, we used him there to demote. So you see the play all the time. So it's really a lot of times. A lot of it is a lose-lose situation. You got a small window to do it the right way. You got a small window to clean up a huge mess, right? And that's why I guarantee you most of y'all brothers, y'all prefer to work by yourself. Because a lot of times when you work with somebody else, they tend to sabotage what you got going on. They sabotage you. I've seen it before and I've seen it again. They sabotage you on the workforce. That's why a lot of brothers prefer to start their own businesses. A lot of people prefer to start their own businesses. A lot of people prefer to work by themselves and work with solitude. That's why, you know, it ain't the fact that your boyfriend don't want to be there with you at night. This is why a lot of brothers tend to work the overnight shift. This is why a lot of brothers work the middle shift. This is why they don't want to work in the morning when everybody there, where they get micromanaged and blamed. This is why you see men move in strategic ways like that. Ain't that most men prefer to be home. You know what I'm saying? At 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But a lot of dudes work that middle shift to avoid that corporate bullshit. This is just it's a whole different beast. So when you start really peeping that, you know, when you're a qualified, black person in the workplace, they hate on you, bro. They don't ask you your credentials, it's a whole, you got to deal with a lot of hate. You go into a job where it's all black people at and you come in with a good position, you get hate. You go into a predominantly white, you get hate. It don't matter where you go at. It's very, very, very unfortunate. So therefore you get that how can I say it? You get this label of being an angry black man. You don't want to speak to nobody. You're not cheerful. You're not glee. Yeah, because you don't do the fake shit. You see what they doing behind you. So it's tough, man. It's tough being out here, but it is what it is. We got to practice stoicism. We got to get the job done. We got to pay the bills to reach the goals. He said Ninja got to run a whole background check on a brother, but the others get easy access on value. And a lot of them be hired based off the simple fact of nepotism too. They know somebody, and those are the most dangerous hires. When you start talking about nepotism hires and stuff like those are the most dangerous hires, because those are the type of dudes that literally they get these great positions and not qualified, and they do absolutely nothing, but you do all the work and they get all the credit. Those are the dangerous hires. Those are the guys they hire. And I remember I had a job back in the day. I used to be a fire marshal some years ago. Sit down. And we had a manager. He was cool, but he was a hoe ass nigga. And I explained why he was a hoe ass nigga, right? He was cool, but he was a hoe ass nigga. But, he would basically didn't know how to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he would have to pay people to come up there to do the job. So he'd call you to come up there to do the job and shit, right? And I remember I had one in fantasy football. She didn't give me all my money, bro. I'm like, bro, come on now. Cause I wasn't one of his homeboys. There's the first year I ever played. I had Nick Foles and he threw for 10 touchdowns or some shit. He was a ass nigga though. He said, facts, I work for myself for that reason, especially when you are too good. Exactly. When you too good, it hurt their soul. And you think, oh, you really good. They gonna give you a promotion. No, they don't give you a promotion. They promote they skin folk, man. And I mean, regardless of color, race, or creed, bro. Regardless of race, color, or creed, man, they do that. And then also, when you look at the workforce right now as a black man, you cool, but you got to think about it too. When you go into these places where most of the time the HR, they women, and they talking about, oh, they not hiring women like they once was. You got to understand, you getting the short end of the stick. They gonna try to hire more women now than men. So they gonna be trying to put them HR applications. They gonna be trying to pull more women. And with a lot of the diversity shit that they kind of got to keep up the code with, sometimes if that's still around, they'll pull some men, but they gonna favor women over they favorite dudes. You got to understand that, bro. Especially if you're not attractive to those women, bro. They gonna be favoring the women. So right now the workplace is a dangerous one, and they talking about they can be headed for another DHS shutdown. So now you got a lot of those women, a lot of black women who made up, I think, a large percentage of the government. So a lot of them go in to go get degrees to work for the government. I think they make up a crazy percentage of government workers. So they taking Section 8 handouts and they make up the government. So they can shut down DHS again. I was, my AR alarm was telling me, I forget. It's early in the morning. So guess what? Now you in the workforce, right? You really don't have to worry about the younger generations, the Gen Z, whatever, the Gen Zers, because they don't want to come to work and they don't want to do no work. They don't know how to interview. But what you now have to worry about dealing with in the workplace is you have to really get in a job. You dealing with women. Women want to hire and look out for other women. So it's never been about what's best. So you dealing with Nepo hires. So that's my man's son, or I know him. And in those, like I said, that's the most dangerous hire, to work with somebody that's a Nepo hire. They lazy, they don't do nothing. They usually are entitled, and they usually have a jealous streak because of people who know how to do it. And then, so those are the real danger. But then also they get the credit for what you doing. So that was, like I said, the workplace right now it's a dangerous. It's dangerous right now, bro. It's very, very dangerous field right now, man. And I think a lot of brothers is really kind of just, going to male dominant spaces, dog. Learning AI, trying to go to male dominant spaces because it's spooky out there. Because ain't nobody advocating for no black man. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got the Nepo plug. But we already know black people don't like plugging in their people. I remember somebody else had plugs this chick in, right? I'm just be very vague. And I didn't care. I didn't care about the job. They had a window open to hire people. And he felt bad. He was like, yeah, I did that. I'm like, I don't care, bro. You felt guilty and shit. I don't really give a fuck, bro. I don't even like I don't even like handouts like that because it don't ever work out my way. I'd rather just figure it out myself. And he felt bad. I'm like, dog, don't feel bad. You know, you help somebody else out. You helped his niece or something out. I wasn't mad about it. It's just like, bro, you felt guilty about this shit. And I'm not mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But I don't be looking to hand out from these niggas, man, at all. I figure it out. He said, it's hard for me to hire another driver. Nobody care like I care about my business. That's true. That's true. He said, spending my time working for an employer and then undermining your future to hold. But sometimes you got to work to build your future. So I know people who got businesses and still working 9 to 5 just for the benefits. I worked with a dude that when I worked at General Motors, he was a millionaire. But the benefits were so good, he worked there. You know, he still worked. So sometimes people do it for that. Some people work to fund their business, you know. So working ain't bad. You know, I know you got the extreme people like Dame Dash, you should never work, and like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But, you know, sometimes, you know, your business can run the way and make money, but then you still can work. It ain't no problem with it. However you can do it. You know, some people may not just be like, hey, I can fall off anytime. I'm gonna still keep a 9 to 5. You know, it all depends. It all depends, you know, but in a world, especially in the black sector world where you got a bunch of women who just don't want to do nothing and think you want to take care of a child, and they don't want to work, they think they have a child, they don't have to do nothing. It's like, that's why niggas ain't having babies no more. It's meant for a multi-income time. And when I say multi, I don't mean, oh, you got a job, she got a job. Like, you got a job and another hustle or a job, she got a job and another hustle, and y'all trying to build a business or something like that. You know, that's why it's hard for a lot of brothers to even want to be, you know, even want to be in a relationship with women, because they don't want to do nothing. You know, they don't want to do shit. And then the ones that do want to work, they want to feel like they equal or something like that. And it's like, okay, cool. When it's time to take a bullet, when somebody break in downstairs, when it's time to go do some maintenance on the house, well, shit, go get your fucking tool belt then too, bitch. You feel me? Appreciate it, Black Jericho. And if the females notice you at work, Brad and Hector get jelly. I mean, yeah, you know, that just come with the territory. Regardless, that's any dude that, you know, the women like, and, you know, yeah, that's just come with the territory. They start spreading rumors, start hating on you and shit like that. It's tough. It's tough, bro. That's why a lot of dudes work the shifts and work for themselves, or they work in solitude. So I ain't really mad at it, but I ain't got no other questions, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully, y'all have a good Valentine's Day. Hopefully, y'all hit the hoes, the 2-pump special. Hit them with the 2-pump special. Pull out with the rubber unless you're trying to get GTA 6. They said if you have a baby on November 19th, you can get GTA 6 for the free ball. I heard it's supposed to be 154. This dude need to be stopped. B-Hand need to be stopped. He said B-Hand speaking on getting in trouble for laughing at D-Wade teaching Zaya how to dribble the mill. He said he is preaching. His people reached out. Oh, like these celebrities be so superficial and shit. So yeah, man. Apparently Tim Bradley kind of agree with me on a little bit on Keyshawn and Dev, but we'll see, man. He said I got 50-50 with every chick, no matter what. I mean, I ain't mad at you at that shit, bro. Yeah, because what you bring to the table as a man is very valuable. Protection, provision, all that. Hold on, I see another comment. The comments pop up. Like if I forget, like before I close it out, I miss your comment. It pop up slower on my speed, on my stream little thing than they do on YouTube. He said, man, I do HVAC. A lot of these older dudes don't want to teach younger dudes. They prefer to work by themselves. Yeah, I mean, I feel them on that too, man, because a lot of the younger dudes don't listen. You know, a lot of them, you help them, they be disrespectful. So yeah, I feel them because I be trying to show dudes at the gym certain things, trying to teach dudes at the job, and they don't want to learn. So I stop fucking helping, bro. And unfortunately, it's a lot of bad apples out there that fuck that up. So I feel them on that though. I do feel them because a lot of them old heads, they want to help, but also feel like they might take money out their pocket. But a lot of young dudes don't have punctuality. They don't have consistency. You can't have no reliability at the job. And that's why this is why the market is always going to be open, for, older people. This is why a lot of older people can get a job in the way they can get a job now. It's because the newer generation suck. They don't want, Soulja Boy talking about he opened up a Subway. It was many years ago. And everybody called off. All the young people called off. So he had to shut the Subway down and not make no money that day. They don't want to show up to work. They don't want to do nothing. Look at the NBA. You got a 1%, top 1% job, and you don't want to show up and do the top 1% job. So think about that. We got a generation that don't want to work. Where does that come from? Being raised by women. Women don't want to go to work. Women ain't built to work. But now you got a bunch of men who have that feminine trait who don't want to put the work in. That's why you got depression. Depression is so high. When you be depressed, the number one thing is start doing some type of work. Write down your goals. Start working on your goals. So what's good, CJ? You got me cracking up this morning. Yeah, I gotta go to work on the second shift this weekend at the hospital. And you know why you work that second shift? You probably be nailing them nurses to the goddamn hospital bed. But let me get up out of here, dog. He be nailing them nurses. He working on value. I work on Valentine's Day. What nurse working today? Appreciate y'all. Peace.